I think that this dog, when I first got her, was addicted to adrenaline, and even when it was time to relax, she could not relax. She would sit like this for up to 3 hours before she finally lay down, and if I moved an inch, she'd leap up again. At night, I would tie her near my bed to sleep, and for the first 3 nights, she sat up for about 3 hours squeaking before she finally lay down and went to sleep. By the end of the first week, when it was time to go to bed, by the time I got into bed, she was lying down and sound asleep. She continued to do the strange behavior that you see here for another 3 weeks. I felt that teaching her Zen would allow her to calm herself. At first, she had no idea of what to do in order to get this treat, but she began to figure it out. And here you'll see her back away from the treat instantly. But in an area that was exciting to her, she still had a lot of difficulty in remembering how to get the treat. Being addicted to adrenaline meant that this dog was always looking for something to be excited about. So relaxing, in order to get something she wanted, was not part of her repertoire. The treat is in my open hand with my thumb over it. It's right in front of her, but she can't get it unless she leaves it alone. Then she actively backs away from it. Here I wait until she's ready to continue. You can see she's stressed because she shakes and she looks off into the distance. But then she comes back and we continue. We're working here because she's been doing quite well in the house, and she's very, very stressed working in front of horses, which is where we're working. I do these Zen exercises to teach her self-control in different locations. And here she's passing some of the tests with a closed hand, and with a closed hand for 5 whole seconds. With an open hand for 5 seconds. And using Zen in the real world, leaving her dinner alone until she's given permission to have it. This dog has nowhere near enough self-control and calmness to be able to do a recall, so we're taking the first step. I'm tossing treats away from me, and when she's gone, I drop treats between my feet so she can come back and look for them and get them. In order to successfully do this exercise, she needs to be able to look away and find a tiny little treat out there, and then think about turning around and coming all the way back and again looking for something. And now she passes this part of the recall in level 1. When I got her, she only knew how to pull on a leash and rush to the end of it. And here she is sitting in an open door. Sit. A dog who can target is a dog who can focus and pay attention and remember what's going on. Targeting also leads to retrieving and a lot of other exercises. But really, the most beneficial thing targeting does is teach a dog like this to calm down.
Touch.
Requiring her to touch the target twice for one click treat took a lot of work on both of our parts.
Touch.
This dog was so tense and so overexcited that she never lay down if anything might possibly happen or be going to happen. But here she has some knowledge of clicker training, and I'm shaping her to do her very first clicked down. This is the entire session, and you can see her trying to figure out what's going on, and you can hear her getting a little bit excited at being able to solve the problem. Being able to work with and communicate with a person holding a clicker is very empowering for an animal that thinks they have no power. Being able to shape an exercise that you would never get otherwise is one of the most fascinating parts of clicker training. And this is only a week or 10 days later, and since then the down has become this dog's default behavior. So the dog that never lay down and could never be calm learns both. And the loose leash walking
Yep, just
training
keep going.
continues. From what you see here,
Show you pulling
we went
as hard as you
on
want.
to walking backward and forward, and here to giving to the leash. Hours and hours and hours of loose leash walking preceded this, and we're using targeting as part of the loose leash walking. And we practice the other exercises that she's able to do at the same time that she is on leash. So she begins to learn that being on leash is not a signal to start pulling. We still have a long, long way to go. She's used to pulling, she's used to being hysterical, she's addicted to adrenaline. Yes, this is a video, it's not a still picture. She can lie down, she can relax, she can sleep, and I can stand up and walk across the room. About 10 days after I got her, she began dreaming at night when she was sleeping. She'd be yipping and growling and twitching. And about another week, she began dreaming in the early evening before she went to bed. So she's really starting to relax.